Right. 12th November 2025, and as clockwork, we started exactly 5 a.m. every day, and today I'll be giving you the trending news so that you know what is important before you go through your day. So let's get started, and we're going to start with Tagwirei. So Tagwirei has effectively taken over in ZANU PF. Particularly yesterday, he was a guest of honor at Chitungwiza, and there were over 15,000 people, mostly young people. You can see the various affiliates over here. So Tagwirei is doing very well in ZANU PF. The times when Tagwirei was not accepted are over. So now you can clearly see that Tagwirei is the man in charge. Look at all these artists performing. A few months ago, this would have been impossible. But you can clearly see Tagwirei enjoying himself and traveling around with all the Harare. This is the Harare leadership of ZANU PF, or the inter-district committees. So they had a meeting yesterday at the Chitungwiza Aquatic Complex, and everyone was over here. And it's clear that Tagwirei is soon going to be taking leadership in ZANU PF. Yesterday in his speech, he was already talking about the next year. So you can clearly see that Tagwirei is doing very well, now very accepted in ZANU PF, and in its leadership structures, is one of the most prominent people over there. And also, the general public are starting to get familiar with Tagwirei. He was not a known person in terms of politics, but you can clearly see that Tagwirei is now well known and accepted as a politician. So the next thing, if was Tagwirei to go into the Politburo and then eventually assume the presidency of ZANU PF. That is how I see this thing going. And I don't know how it will go. It appears like he's taken away all the resistance. Okay, I think that is quick and short. Let's now go to the key events of today. Aliko Dangote is arriving in Zimbabwe and is going to be meeting Mnangagwa sometime this morning. And then he's going to meet the Minister of Finance. He's then going to meet the ministers, other ministers, and I believe people from ZIDA. So he's going to be engaging in those meetings in preparation for the plant, the cement plant that he wants to establish in Zimbabwe. So let's see what happens today. That's a very important event taking place in Zimbabwe. Then tomorrow, we have Job Sikhala appearing in court. So let me get this right, because I keep getting the dates wrong. Yes, Thursday, the 13th, Job Sikhala is going to appear in court for a bail hearing. So this would depend on whether Home Affairs have completed their investigations and also what the investigating officers have found. So let me just unpack what is the problem with Job Sikhala's case. Job Sikhala was communicating with certain people on his phone. So they were talking from morning, and they were saying, we're going to give you money, come to such and such a place, and they were having discussions on his phones. So what is in that discussion is very important. What were they talking about? What was being paid for? And if that, obviously the investigating officers are going to have that information. That is going to make a big difference on what exactly is going to happen to Job Sikhala. If they were just talking general talk about, give me money, I want to pay for some millimil, that would be fine. But if what I've heard is true, that the conversation was about a group from the DRC trying to help him to get into office and also all sorts of stuff, that will then be a different thing. So very careful to know what they were talking about. We have to know what is going to be revealed in court. And that is going to be very important. The prosecutors would not take to court a case that is weak. And I hope that this has got no There's no information on that phone that relates to anything to do with weapons or bombs. So I hope that this information that is on that phone, they've taken Job Sikala's phone, they've taken Alex Temer's phone, and there were payments that were made. So what was being paid for? Where did these explosives come from? What is in the camera footage? All these are important. So Job Sikala is in a very, very critical position right now. If his phone contains anything that has anything to do with those explosives, he's going to be in jail for a very long time. If there's nothing on that phone and he can prove that these were planted, it's going to be very quick. But then that means someone else is going to be arrested. So Job Sikala in a critical position. We have never seen such a case ever in South Africa. There's never been such a case. It's a first in South Africa. That is why it's such a high profile case. Then on the 17th, which is Monday, we're going to go and see Nyoka Mabunu. Nyoka Mabunu is appearing in court, and this appearance is to do, I believe, with the fraud matter. So Nyoka Mabunu is facing two cases. One where he's being extradited to Zimbabwe, which is coming on the 1st of November. That is for a sentence that he did not finish serving in Zimbabwe. That is on the 1st. And then on Monday, he's facing a case where a man is saying he gave Nyoka Mabunu money to fix sofas for him. And Nyoka Mabunu fled or took away with the money and did not deliver the sofas. So that case is on Monday. This case has never been to court. Nyoka Mabunu has never been charged. He has never faced the people that are accusing him. Even on the extradition matter, it has always been technicality. And that is because he doesn't have a lawyer. So Nyoka Mabunu does not have a lawyer. Up to this point, Nyoka Mabunu has an advocate, but no lawyer. So on Monday, we're going to see what is going to happen. Is he now going to have a lawyer? If you look at Job Sikala, Job Sikala was offered legal aid. Immediately, they offered him legal aid. There was a state lawyer present. So there was a state lawyer present in court, and Job Sikala could have used that lawyer. I don't know why Nyoka Mabunu has not been offered a state lawyer. So I don't know why that has not happened ever since he went into this situation. So let's see what happens. Maybe courts are different, but the Redback Magistrates Court did not offer Nyoka Mabunu a state lawyer. Then in terms of other things, let's quickly go into, I want to look here at the newspapers. So let's start with the Chronicle. So in Bulawayo, there's been a death of a prominent cattle farmer. That is Jeffrey Soma, was buried yesterday. He has died of cancer. So cancer is killing a lot of people in Zimbabwe. And he died at Mater Dei Hospital. Very sad to hear about that. And then let's quickly look at South Africa. In South Africa, the Ndimande brothers, these are hitmen, have been extradited back to South Africa to face or to appear in court. So they have appeared in court in Durban yesterday for the murder of AKA. So AKA is a prominent or was a prominent rapper in South Africa who was assassinated in Durban. So the Ndimande brothers have arrived in South Africa yesterday after being extradited, and they've gone to court. Their next appearance in court will be in 2026 in July. So they've appeared in court yesterday and were remanded to join other people that are also part of the assassination. One of the brothers is said to have pulled the trigger. Among these two, they're also accused of killing one of the most well-known taxi bosses. So the people who drive taxis, they kill each other. And one of these brothers is, or was filmed, killing one of those taxi bosses. So this is a very important case in South Africa. Then obviously we've got the Zuma case that is going on. The daughter of Zuma is in court, and we've got so many court cases, prominent court cases are going on in South Africa. Then in terms of business, the South African Reserve Bank has taken 50% ownership or shareholding in Pay Inc. Pay Inc. is the old BankServe. So BankServe is the platform, or was the platform, that does transactions in South Africa. So it's now called Pay Inc. and it's now owned by the South African Reserve Bank and the major banks, FNB, Standard Bank, ABSA, and Capitec, and then a bunch of other smaller banks. This is when you do any transaction in South Africa. So when you withdraw, you transfer money, when you use PayShap, when you do EFT, when you use an ATM on Saswitch, this is the organization that does it for you. And the Reserve Bank has now taken ownership here, 50%, and the banks own the rest of it. So each bank owns 10% or 7.5%, and then the smaller banks together also own a portion of this Pay Inc., which is how they transfer money in South Africa. They also do cybersecurity. So cybersecurity in terms of watching what's happening in the banking system, and then they also do other things, but mainly it's transaction EFT, how you withdraw money from a different bank at another bank's ATM, and how you EFT between banks. So that is Pay Inc., the biggest story right now on the Business Day. You can go there. I think that's Gavaza who wrote that story there. Now let's quickly go into the Herald newspaper, and then we're out. So the Herald newspaper is the biggest newspaper in Zimbabwe by size, but circulation has plunged. So if you look at all the newspapers in Zimbabwe, circulation has plunged to levels that you've never had, low levels. In fact, newspapers like Newsday, Daily News, and Independent, The Standard, they're almost non-existent now. No one knows what they write on any day. No one cares. They no longer make an impact on the environment. Long back, Newsday would write a story and the whole country would know. Right now, it's like a newsletter that writes little things that are not spread across the country. And worse enough, they've removed themselves from these platforms where you can see the newspaper. If you go online, so let's say you type newsday.co.zw, they've got stories, but most of these stories are not really significant stories. They're the same stories that you'll find on NPA, on Twitter, or same things that you normally find in other places, not significant at all. And sometimes they actually have less important stories than small newspapers. All right, and then let's go to the Herald. As I said before, I talk too much about other newspapers. Let's go to the Herald. Herald newspaper. Let's see what they're saying. They're talking about Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has returned from Angola. I don't know why Mnangagwa went to Angola. Honestly, I was watching him there, and I don't know why he goes to such things. Because he just made a speech, a little speech, and left. So maybe he should be spending more time in the office. Let's see here. That is Mnangagwa with the crowd being introduced as one of the heads of states of government who graced the Republican Square in Luanda, Angola yesterday. And you can see that he's enjoying himself there. Dangote to meet Mnangagwa today. I've said it already. And then what's this picture here? In this picture, you can see Chiwenga. You can see Mohadi looking much better. There, Urugushanda. They met yesterday. And then Mohadi did a lot. Let's see Chiwenga here. So Chiwenga is here. He met with the Children's Parliament or Child President, but I didn't see him talking. And then let's see what else is here. All right, this is very important. Safety first. Guys, so many people are going to die in December. This is November. We don't want you to die. So make sure that your car is ready for the December. So what am I talking about? When you're driving in Zimbabwe, there are 2 times when you die on the road. If you drive after 6, if you drive fast on a small road, if you overtake at a blind spot, and if you go into a bus at night, those are the times when you die. So what do? You must plan your journey early. If you're going to rural areas, go way early. Don't go on the 24th when everyone is traveling, when there's so much traffic. And do not try to drive at night. So let's say you're going to South Africa. When you get to the border and you live there at 1 a.m., don't say I'll drive to Harare, I can still make it. Drive there to a hotel and sleep. You save yourself a life. You will die very badly if you try to drive at night. That is the time, especially on that Blawe road. It's almost impossible. You can't drive there. The road from Harare to Kariba, you can't drive there. It's bad. The road from Bulawayo to Victoria Falls, it's bad. You can't drive there. Those roads are almost impossible. You can't do anything. It will take you 8 hours to travel from Harare to Victoria Falls. So you must fly. If you are going to Harare from Johannesburg, book your flight now. And when you get to Harare, hiring a car is only $35 a day. So if you don't know the number, you just WhatsApp me here. And I'll tell you the guys who rent you a car for $35 a day. $35 is nothing. You'll be able to drive 200 kilometers a day. That includes 200 kilometers. So don't waste your time driving to Harare. It makes no sense. And you probably die on the way. So once you get the car, you drive around, you do your stuff. There's also InDrive in Harare. So if you don't want to hire, for $5, Harare, Bulawayo, all these places can hire InDrive. And InDrive is an app. So you just install the app and you'll be able to move around. There's also Tap and Go, I think. That's another one that you can use. They even have 4x4s where you can drive around. So Harare is no longer like the past where you needed to have a car. Just fly and then you'll be able to do your stuff. But if you're going to places like Vic Falls or Kariba, they don't have InDrive over there, as far as I remember. But avoid this long drive. Many people die in December. We normally lose between 60 and 100 people. Don't be one of those 100 people who die. And then let's go to, actually this was the most important segment. I think most of you think, why is Gambakwe talking about that? It's important. And then let's see what else we've got. We've got an important story in the Zim Live newspaper. The Zim Live newspaper is the CIO newspaper. Mnangagwa sets up tribunal to probe Justice Katio after a series of blunders. So Katio, and let's see what else is happening. I didn't show you this car. There's a new car coming. Zimbabweans, I know you love Hilux. You love GD6. But the GD6 is nothing. There's a new car coming called the battery electric vehicle. That is 3 Toyota versions that are chargeable. So you'll be able to charge your car. No need to put petrol. And it costs very little. It doesn't cost a lot. You can drive 450 kilometers on one charge. So in Harare, you can charge on Monday. Even if there's no power, you can be able to drive the whole week without putting petrol. There's also going to be a new variant or a petrol variant. So look forward to this car. It's going to be amazing. And you can see that it's easy to charge. Just put it over here overnight. I think you can even charge this on solar. And you're done. You're out. You'll be able to go on the roads and meet hot soup, top soup for ED. Top soup for ED. You'll be able to meet top soup for ED. Let's see what else is here. I think most of the stuff I've covered. Dangote's arrival in Zimbabwe is going to be so important. Dangote is not a man that comes to the country for no reason. He is a big deal. So he's a very big deal in Africa. He's one of the richest black people. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he's the richest black person in the whole world. Right, let's see if I've missed anything else. I don't think I've missed anything else. Let's try to see what is in Zambia before I go. President Dumapoko doing so well. President Akande Chilema doing so well. If you don't like those two presidents, Urichi Gananda, if you don't like President Akande Chilema, I don't know what's wrong with you. That is one of the best presidents in the whole wide Africa. He's doing so well. Right, then don't take your luck too far. That is a warning from President Akande Chilema. So here he's saying, as President Akande Chilema warns Chingola residents who stoned his motorcades on Saturday. So I told you that this is AI. All right, so President Akande Chilema is saying, and let's go to it here. He's a very nice president, and people are taking advantage. President Akande Chilema has called on Copperbelt residents to uphold peace and reject violence, warning that lawlessness and political thuggery has no place in the new Zambia his administration is striving to build. So I know Zambians have not been used to this type of management. This is why you see there is a bit of grappling and sometimes standing aside, but you'll be okay. I can see where we are going. So President Akande Chilema is a man of peace. He's loved by so many people, and it's clear that some people want to take advantage and make it look like he's not popular. There is no president who has ever been as popular in Zambia as President Akande Chilema. He is amazing. So I think it's clear. Everyone knows that President Akande Chilema is doing so well, and that won't change. Don't think in 2026 anyone else is going to win. There is no person who is as popular as President Akande Chilema. Then what you're going to say is unopera power ne ZANU PF. He's talking here about the court case that we brought to the Constitutional Court. That is more President Muridzi and pardon Gambakwe versus Mnangagwa, Mudenda, Ziambi, Zek Chugumba, Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission, and the Attorney General. So he's saying unopera power ne ZANU PF. I don't know what it means, but let me explain to you. Tomorrow is the what? The 13th. Yes. More President Muridzi is going to be having an interview with Blessed Mhlanga. He has already advertised this. If you go to HSTV, you'll be able to see that interview tomorrow at, I think it's 5 or 6. I'll confirm it. Let me explain something to Zimbabweans, and let me make it clear. Most Zimbabweans like to do nothing, like zero. They want other people to do something. If you do something, they'll say, why did you do that? If you don't, why didn't you do that? We have explained why we've taken Mnangagwa to court. Mnangagwa cannot sit in a room. Ziambi cannot sit in a room. Mudenda cannot sit in a room where an unconstitutional resolution is made and they keep quiet. They must immediately speak up and stop that resolution. That is why we've taken Mnangagwa to court. And Mnangagwa is going to respond. So these papers have already been accepted by the Constitutional Court. There will be a response, and you'll be able to see the response. So what is the problem? The problem is, if someone who is not a lawyer, like Hopo says, ZANU PF no para power, or why don't you wait until they go to parliament? By the time you get to parliament, it's too late to file. You must file at every stage. It doesn't mean if you file a court case, you can't file a court case. Even if this court case is thrown out, it doesn't mean you can't file a court case. You can still file at any point. What you mustn't do is do nothing and then say those people who are doing something, why did they do it? What are you doing? What are you doing? What have you ever said about 2030? So we want people to do something, and that is where we are right now. in the history of Zimbabwe, it will be written, and I've said it in the past, Gambakwe and more President Muridzi challenged Mnangagwa's 2030. And in the history, it won't be written. You say it, ZANU PF unopera power. That is not an action. That is nothing. We want an action from you, especially people with platforms. We don't want you to just say ZANU PF unopera power. What is that? So come out, Zimbabweans, do something. Don't let your country just go into oblivion. Kupera. So that is what I was saying. And then let's go to Minnie. Minnie is one of our people. She's amazing. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Minnie, I think the most outstanding thing about Minnie is the eyes. She is someone you have never seen before. So where is she here? She is at a place called St. Giles, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what she did. I actually want to see the post. Yes. So that is a rehabilitation center of some sort. You can go and check it out there today. I visited St. Giles Rehabilitation Center after an invitation from the board and management. So we are planning to build a cancer hospital in Zimbabwe. I'm going to be focusing a lot on that, and I'll let you guys know the plan that we have. We're planning to build a cancer hospital because we don't want people to go to India for cancer. So I will let you guys know. We already got the land. We're just waiting for a few things to be finalized. So that is amazing. Go and check out Minnie over here. She is our patron for Oma 2K for from Dara. Then let's go to Madam Boss. Let's go to Madam Boss. Zimbabwe. It's time to vote. Guys, I've tried to vote. Madam Boss, I've tried to vote. I don't know how to do this thing. When I try to vote, I see I have to download the wallet. And I don't know how to do it. So sad that I can't vote. And then had to talk. Tatela Mavetera. I saw her doing something I've never seen. That is why people criticize her. Not because, so Madam Boss doesn't know why. People criticize Tatela Mavetera because of her work at young women for ED. She does crazy stuff over there. Something that a minister mustn't do. That is crazy what she does over there. President Maboko, a very, very amazing president, but his Facebook is so full of pictures. So when I open it, it just chills out a bit. A historic visit for Botswana. So that is Her Excellency Draupadi Mumu, the President of the Republic of India, to Gaborone. Okay, I don't know if I've got it right. Today I have the honor of welcoming Her Excellency Draupadi Mumu, the President of the Republic of India, to Gaborone, making the first ever state visit to Botswana by an Indian head of state. Wow, look at that plane. Guys, this is amazing. Look at her. She is walking by herself. This ambassador looks very familiar to me. The one who is next to President Duma Boko. So look at that. That is amazing. That is the President of India over here in Botswana. Wow. So welcome to Botswana. We'll see you when we see you. We'll see you when we see you. And then let's go to Sadak. Sadak is my favorite place. I was to Sadak, the only Zimbabwean man ever to enter Sadak. That is Gambakwe. And once the border post time release, study launched to enhance trade and efficiency. And let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, so you can go and check out the Sadak page. And who is this lady? Sadak and Germany, we talked about this yesterday. And then my favorite person here is Sanyatwe. She knows Sanyatwe. Her hair is so amazing. People are talking about it everywhere. Everywhere. People love this hair. And she's saying, Manawevu, people like him are at times difficult to ignore when you see the images, but in most cases go unnoticed. Let's give him respect. He is carrying the national flag on his head. So she's doing very well. Look at that hair. That is amazing. And then let's go to X. I didn't leave anyone, right? Let's go to X. At X, we're going to look at Chamisa. But guys, what I wanted you guys to see was Sikhala's wife talking. Have you ever seen my Sikhala speaking? So let's go to National Democratic Working Group. So I told you guys there was a vice president for National Democratic Working Group. They called me and they said, no, that guy is not the vice president of National Democratic Working Group. He was just standing in. It doesn't mean he's the wife. He's the deputy president. So let me show you my Sikhala speaking. Listen very carefully to what she said. Okay, I don't know why this is not on stage, guys.
Mwari vanesu uye Mwari vachatitungamirira kuKenani. Ndinongoti naiwaya Daddy, may your dreams be fulfilled. Zvose zvamunoronga mukati meupenyu ndinoona kuti zvakarongwa naMwari. Dai vazvizadzikisa nenguva pfupi iri padhuze dhuze. Happy birthday, Daddy. Enjoy your day. Happy birthday.
Guys, that was a bit loud to me. I don't know about you, but it was a bit loud. I'm sorry about that. So that is my Sikhala. The first time I've seen her talking. And you can go and check it out on the National Democratic Working Group. What is my beef with the National Democratic Working Group? First and foremost, I don't think these guys want to structure. So the biggest problem we have in Zimbabwe is a big man syndrome, where in every party, you have a big man that does everything. And then you don't see the vice president, you don't see people down there doing anything. So Sikhala, Tendai BT, all these guys who met last week, they had a speech, but then they never launched. I told you they will never launch. There is a problem in Zimbabwe where people don't want to structure. So in all the political parties that are there in Zimbabwe, there is no vice president. So each and every party that you know, there's no vice president. The people that form the party believe that it's their party and it cannot do without them. And in our particular case right now, we have a problem where no one wants to form a party. They are afraid that they'll be said they betrayed Chamisa. If they form a party, people then come around and say, why did you form a party? Chamisa is going to come. Or Hopo is going to write a tweet and say, ZANU PF, are we going? So people end up sitting and doing nothing, which is crazy. So people need to do stuff. They're not doing stuff. And it's really sad. Our country is going to end up with Tagwirei as the president only. He's the only person who wants to take leadership. No one else wants to take leadership. Tagwirei is clear. He wants to be president. The rest of the people don't want to be president. They want to be loved by Chamisa. And that is the problem we have right now. Until that is resolved, Buddha. And then Chamisa said, dear police Zimbabwe, why should this terrorism and primitive brutality on harmless students and simple innocent citizens be allowed to continue like this? Mr. Mnangagwa, why should this not worry or concern you? Mugabe was bad. This is worse, so barbaric. This is pure evil. So Chamisa is showing his teeth for the first time. This is after 2 students were abducted. I've covered this story extensively. And we don't want people who abduct others. We don't want people who arrest others. We want a country where people can do and talk as they wish in the boundaries of non-violence. You saw what happened in Zambia. President Hakainde Hichilema is such a man who allow you to go to any length. Imagine if someone came and stoned Mnangagwa's motorcade. Don't do it. So these guys are just contesting an election at the university, and they get abducted. They are taken 200 kilometers away. That culture is barbaric. I agree with Chamisa. We don't want barbaric behavior. Pasinayo. And then obviously he's carrying this story a lot. I talked to the young people from Zinasu yesterday, and this is bad. Zikosu, I don't think Zikosu has got a president, but if Zikosu has got a president, they must answer. So they must answer to say what happened. Otherwise, they will never win these elections. So it's bad. And then let's go to First Lady of Zimbabwe, Mamoyo. First Lady of Zimbabwe, did she post? Let's see what she posted. She last posted on 5 November. I think that lady with the bag is not posting. It's not cool. And then President of Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa, E.D. Mnangagwa. So E.D., let's see what is posted. Yes, so E.D. posted. Let me show you what E.D. posted. He posted a video. So E.D. Mnangagwa, Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. So let's see what he posted. Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Chancellor of all universities, and so on and so on. He's posted so much. So let's see what they posted yesterday. So they've got these two here, and that is in Angola. So you can see here. And I think that is the president of Namibia over there. So there were quite a lot of presidents here. But look at those tents. Angola has got so much money. There is no country with as much money as Angola right now. Look at the army guys. Okay, let's see him talking. Okay, I can't hear nothing.
That it is 50 years of independence. It's an achievement. And some of you, 50 years ago, if you are already 50, I doubt you were not there. And this is the journey Angola has traveled. I've been here at the beginning, in the time they became independent. And the difference is just night and day. They have developed this country. I'm so proud of the leadership of this country. They've done so.
Okay, go check it out over there. Guys, let me tell you something about Angola. Angola is doing so well. They've got so much money. You've never seen a country with so much money in Africa. Their guns, look at that. These guys can shoot you one time. They are not playing in Angola. They are a proper, like, power. So they are a power, and they're doing very well. So you can go over there to the office of Mnangagwa. Now these guys are working. So this is great stuff. Guys in the president office of the president, OPC, doing a job now on Twitter. That's what you need to do. You can't have a president who only appears with one picture. And then let's see Tagwirei speaking over here. Okay, he goes on and on for like 2 minutes. Guys, I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover. It's been 39 minutes and a few seconds. I'm talking longer than Makandiwa. Makandiwa, one of my favorite pastors. I'm not like he starts but I think there's no one worse than Apostle Chwenga. That man can talk even more. So you can preach. I live here when he's preaching. I would drive for 4 hours, then I watch his preaching again. Then let's go. This is absolutely Tagwirei would be president. It's just Zefunde. He's going to be president if he continues like this. Then let's look at Gambakwe. Yeah, the same person who was saying Chamisa is doing nothing in politics. Now you're saying people should not put others to do something. You are confused. Gambakwe, I don't know, maybe I'm confused. Gambakwe greater than Hopo, Hopo greater than Chamisa, Chamisa greater than Gambakwe. I'm not, you can't compare me with Hopo. We are in a different space. But one thing I can tell you, I've got great respect for Hopo. Hopo is well known internationally. If Hopo goes in a room with presidents, they will recognize him immediately. In if I walk in a room, no one will recognize me. It's like no one has entered the room. That is how it is. Pane anonzi machi Zoto zvine mazera. Inini ndiri kwaMurambinda. Hopo is in Harare. So I'm in the village and Hopo is now at the top. Let's see. You were cheering Tagwirei. I'm not cheering Tagwirei. I'm just telling you, address 15,000 people. Baba Harare attended. I think that was in the Muridzi. So many people were there. What can I do? Do I say no one attended? Mr. Gamba Mveuno Shanda, Pakurapa Moyo, Wakazumba Here, Dipindireo. Okay, let me show you. Right, so this is Mve. We currently have a special. This is the only genuine Mve in Zimbabwe. In a factory. It's made in a factory. So we currently have a special. Buy one, get two in the UK. In Zimbabwe, it's 50% the normal price, but you pay on courier. Mve unoshanda kurapa moyo here, wakazvimba. What is moyo wakazvimba? So before you treat any disease, you must understand what you are treating. When you say moyo wakazvimba, are you talking about blood pressure? Are you talking about, what are you talking about? So first, you must diagnose what is wrong with you. So mostly, people don't want to get checked. So you must get checked. Before you, let's say you are breathless. What is causing your breathlessness? If you are feeling tired, what is causing your exhaustion? If urukutadza kuperform, masalada chikutonga daily, what is causing that? Before you start my treatments, you must know. But as a herb, Mve does a lot. It's very powerful. I could barely walk. They found slow so. Until ndatanga kumwa Mve, muscle will grow, you become strong. Masalada akakona no tiza, because no kwadza. So that is what Mve does. But don't treat yourself if you've got a serious condition. Don't say now I'm going to take Mve and then I'm sorted. You go to a doctor. Every year there are a certain number of tests I do. I do prostate test without fail. I do blood sugar tests without fail. I do STI test without fail. I do akawanda and later my cancer test. Akawanda. I do all these tests and they are free over here in South Africa. If in South Africa, there's no reason for you to be sick. You need 100 rand or $10. You go there and get checked. Then I go to my nearest pharmacy. I do a high blood pressure test for free. So if there's a discount near you, you just walk near the counter. There's a blood pressure machine there. Just put your hand in there and you test yourself for blood pressure. You must know your health because it's very dangerous not to know. And then you do my workouts. Right. Yes, muntu wezanu mina ngizapo. Yes, panzile zapo. Panzile zapo. Alex Njovu. What is Zapo? How many supporters are in Zapo? Tamangu, come on, Alex. Tamangu. I know Zapo. They are my friends. I actually talk to the president of Zapo here, like all the time. I'm just kidding. Because you called me a ZANU person. That's why I'm fighting him. Why do we have to call each other names? Gambakwe, you are late. Allow Mve. Yes, fantastic. If you come on Mve, then you do what are called Kegel exercises, which is yakuti zvinoreve. Saka mukana usingati exercise, don't think which are strong. And then obviously you must be a very strong person on your arms. So your arms must be extremely strong. Our arms are weak. Right, I think we've covered everything. I'll see you guys during the day. I'll try to come here. Tomorrow, please go and see Job Sikhala. Monday, please go and see Nyoka Mabunu. And then please support our sponsor, Mve. Let's make it happen. I'm a champion, and December is coming. Don't be without your packet. And then obviously on Sunday, we're making a big announcement regarding Kulumane and also M31 Zimbabwe. It's going to be a very important announcement that we're going to make. So come here on the evening, at night on Sunday. Very important announcement. As you are aware, I'm going to be moving back to Zimbabwe. Our office is going to be set up in Zimbabwe, and we are going to be busy with a lot of things, including the court case against Mnangagwa, the new cancer hospital that we're going to be working on. And generally, my job in Zimbabwe will be to make sure that we have as many people as possible coming back. I want people to come back, our young people to come back to Zimbabwe and do well. And Zimbabwe is actually going to pick up, it's going to do well. After what has happened in Tanzania, you can see that Mnangagwa is starting to look well. When people see Mnangagwa, they are greeting him, they're hugging him. It's crazy. I can't believe it. It's as if things suddenly turned in one day. And let's make sure that it works. And also, I'm going to be working a lot with Top Soup for ED. Kutamangu, guys. And you Shandine Top Soup for ED. Tomorrow, we'll go and see Victor. No. Job Sikhala is appearing on the 13th. That is what I heard. I don't think it's today. On the 13th. That's what they said. So, if it's Tuesday, I'm missing it. Now I know you're ZANU PF. Stay away from Job Sikhala. Guys, Muta's Job Sikhala. You don't love him. You don't love Job Sikhala. If you love Job Sikhala, you're going to go to his book launch. When he came out, you're going to go and talk to him. When he was in jail, you're going to talk to him. You don't love him. You just hate people that love Job Sikhala. Amudu kusarira. Amudu kusarira. Wadakuti chese chinu chaitika. You want to be there. Maka broker. All right. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'll see you guys later. And a good day to you all.